Hello and welcome back to Old YouTube Vibes. Today we're opening up a 1987 Donruss pack. It's got 15 picture cards and 3 puzzle pieces, which is going to be Roberto Clemente. I picked this up for $4 at a shop, and I have to say I did not buy these when I was growing up. This was before I started collecting cards. I recall beginning around 1990, and I did buy some older cards, older packs, but I believe it stopped at roughly 88, 89. I do not remember buying these 87s. Alright, so I'm just going to open up one pack, and we'll see what we get. Good thing about these is I should know most of these players. This is a traditional wax pack. It's very waxy. I just opened it up easily. I'm trusting that these haven't been picked through. I don't think there's any gum to worry about though, which is a good thing. This back card is actually really clean. Didn't feel like there's too much wax, but it's definitely on my fingers. Alright, let's see puzzle. Alright. 16, 17, 18. Walt Terrell, Tigers. I do remember him. I really like the old style Tigers logo here. I think that was around for a while. And you know, the sides with the baseball, they really show how far over the centering is. I mean, it's really easy to tell that this was pushed to the right. I guess you might call this about a 65, 35, something like that. And then top and bottom is a little harder to judge, but it looks like it's going down a little bit. Anyway, Walt Terrell for the Tigers. Let's see. Another thing I really like about old cards is they have all the stats. It looks like this is his 5th year, like 4th full year after 86. Kentucky, 1958. Charles Walter. Okay. Next we got Bob Horner. Blonde Bob Horner for the Braves. Again, I really like the old Braves logo. Let's see, he's from Texas, 57. So 57, 87 makes him 30 years old during this season. And he looks like he was a 5th year. And at that point he played exclusively for the Braves. James or Bob Horner. Jay Howell, I don't recall him, but one thing I like about the A's is their consistency in having pretty much the same logo and similar uniform over the years. It's really cool. See, he's from Florida, 1955. Again, what's weird about these old packs is that these guys were born in 55, which was the year they went back in time and Back to the Future. So at this point in time, he was 32. I mean, these guys are like in my parents' generation. So that's what's kind of weird to me. Is watching baseball now, I mean, some of the ball players could be my kids, you know. And I look at these old cards, and these players are my parents' generation. It's just kind of crazy. They started out with the Yankees. Greg Walker. I love these old Diamond Kings. They go back to 82, I believe, with Perez. I think he drew all of them for a long time, up until the mid-90s maybe. But this one, I really like this one because it looks more of it looks like a sketch than like a painting. It's kind of like a colored pencil sketch. I really like the old style Chicago White Sox logos too. But this one's terribly off-centered. Way over. Greg Walker. He hit 24 home runs. Back when 24 home runs with a year was a big deal. Tony Pena. I remember this guy. Again, really cool old Pirates logo. This is almost, you might even call this in the color match card back in 87. The yellow and the black borders here. Tony Pena. Let's see. Antonio, born in 57, Dominican, 5 years with the Pirates at this point. That's cool. All right. I'm going to put him. I do remember Tony Pena. I'll put the Diamond King here too. All right, Ken Howell. Don't remember him. Again, like the A's, the Dodgers have been very consistent in their logo, their uniforms, which I think is really cool. And just, I think you maintain fans better if you stay consistent across the decades. 3rd-year Dodger. ERA 3.71. Seems like it'd been kind of high back then, but today that's really good. From California. He was born in Michigan. All right. Rudy Law, Royals. Again, to me, this is the Royals logo. Not even sure if they've changed it since then, but I like this style. Waco, Texas. He grew up in Inglewood, or that's where he lives. And he started out for the White Sox. All right. Bobby Grich, Angels. I guess at that point they were California Angels. You see the shape of the state there behind the A. Born in Michigan, lives in Long Beach, 49. So even older than my dad at that point. Okay. Santana. Rafael Santana for the Mets. That's just the way the Mets logos always look to me. Let's see, shortstop, more 58, so a little bit younger. But still, by 87, he was 29. So a lot of, again, I'm kind of noticing these are actual players I'm picking up in these packs, these older packs, not a bunch of rookies. I guess it's because it just opened up the Topps update. I feel like I'm just inundated with rookies. These are actual players been in the league for a while. All right, again, Dominican. So Dominican's been in the majors for a long time. Ozzie Virgil for the Braves. Osvaldo. He was born in Puerto Rico, but his home is in Glendale, Arizona, 1956. And he spent first several years with the Phillies. I remember the Braves. I know the Braves, the late 80s, were not very good at all. So that's where he's at right now. Late 80s Braves. Fred Lynn. I recall this guy. I don't remember him being on the Orioles, but I do remember his name. That's right, Boston. I feel like he was at Boston. And it says he was traded to California. He was an All-Star's first 9 seasons. So I wonder if he's a Hall of Famer. I'll have to look that up. So another Diamond King. Put him here. Those are my favorites. Donruss cards are the Diamond Kings for sure. And again, this card shows the logo of that cool like 70s, 80s Chicago White Sox logo. March 63, so a little bit younger. He's 24 here. So definitely he's in his second full year playing. Born in Brooklyn and lives in, or his home's in Florida. 5'8". So I'm guessing he's an infielder. No, he's an outfielder. 5'8", 150. Cangelosi. All right. Oh boy, Roger Clemens. So here's my first, I guess, superstar of the pack. This was his 2nd year card. Let's see. He played in 84. I'll put that up there on the screen. He won the Cy Young in 86. And then he won most majors in 86. Wow, won most games in a season by a Red Sox pitcher since 49. That's a big deal. He was born in Dayton and lives in Texas. 1962, so he's only 25 here. 6'4", 215. That's why they call him the Rocket. But yeah, I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. 2.48 and 86. Wow. Wow, 24 and 4. That is unreal. Okay, he's definitely going up here on the stage. And let's see, Pat Clements for the Hearts. I feel like I remember his name too. California, 1962. Looks like he was signed by the Angels first, and then ended up with the Pirates. Okay, yeah, Ray 2.8. Not too shabby. And then Tom Foley, shortstop. It's a nice looking Bowman pick. I really like the Expos logo back then. The E there, and the M, and the whole thing. Pretty cool. 1959, born in Georgia, lives in Miami. Been to a few different teams already. Well, that was it. That was 1987 Donruss. Got a Roger Clemens, a couple Diamond Kings, but this is what I'm gonna be doing from here on out for a while, is just opening up older junk wax 80s, 90s stuff that I know about, and I'm gonna only do one pack at a time. So a slow and steady look at old cards and old players. And that's the rip. See you next time on